Good afternoon, my dears. So, today we will deal with the next topic, that is Model 3, right? Model 3, Model 3, that is condition. So, last two types it is another section, but today that we are going to see that Model 3 as well Model 4 that comes under the conditionals, right? Condition, that means if, right? So, the model third, this type it is, we used to say this positive type, right? Condition positive. This type it is condition positive. So, the next type, that is type number 4, that is condition negative, right children? So, before that we will go through that formulas. Okay, fine. So, what is the formula, So, in this condition type, the sentence will begin with in the event of or in case of, right? The simple sentence will begin with in the event of, otherwise in case of. Keep it in mind, this is a condition, right? If you do so, definitely it will happen this way. If you don't do this, this will happen. So one condition will stress, right? A condition will stress over in this type. So this type is a positive condition. Okay, fine. So the simple sentence will begin with either, as I said earlier, the simple sentence will begin with in the event of, otherwise in case of, right? And the next word, the subject will be your, right? The next thing will be your, definitely your will come. So in the event of, in case of, plus your, plus verb plus ing. What is the format? In the event of or in case of, plus your, plus verb plus ing, right? And the complex sentence, the sentence will begin with the if. In complex sentence, the sentence will begin with if and subject plus verb. The sentence will begin with the if, subject, verb. In the simple, it is in the event of, otherwise in case of, right? And in the compound, as I said earlier, it is very easy, that is and. In the compound sentence, the sentence will carry the conjunction and. Okay, my dears. So let's move on to the sentence, right? Have a clear cut about this. Okay. So the what is the first sentence? It is in the event of your working hard, right? In the event of your working hard. So example sentence, we will move on to the example sentence, right? The first sentence, as I told already. So you should understand, otherwise you should find out the given sentence, it is in simple or compound or complex. How to identify that? For that purpose only I have clarified like this, right? In simple sentence means some words you will come across, and in the complex sentence means certain words you will come across, and in the compound means some certain words you will come across, right? So last class we have seen the first type, right? Do you remember the first type? First type, do you remember, right? On the second type, do you remember? Okay, fine, same thing, right? So in such a way, the last class, the second type what we have seen after, right? Having or after. Same way in the complex also after, right? And the compound, you know what the thing we have used, and at once, otherwise and immediately. So if you come across a certain things, right? In that model only we have to change in simple or complex or compound, right? You should go to the next model, right? Take for example this sentence, if a sentence comes in if plus subject plus verb means, and the question if it is asked into simple or into compound means, in these two types only you have to change. You should not go to the next model type. Keep it in very mind. Okay, right. So as I told already, in the event of your, right? See, in the event of, the sentence will begin with the in the event of, and as I told you already, the next word will be your, right? Your. So in the event of your, and verb plus ing, so work plus ing, working, right my dears? So in the event of your, in the event of, as I told you, your plus verb, what is the verb here? Work plus ing. So in the event of your working hard, comma, you will score very good marks. You will score very good marks. What is the procedure to change into complex? Yeah, it's very easy. The sentence will begin with the first thing, it is if, and then subject, and then verb, right? So first one it is subject, and then second one is so first one is if, and second one is subject. right? So what is the first step you have to do? You have to begin the sentence with if. First step is over. And second one is what is the subject, right? So subject, where you have to take this your no, right? That will change to you. Otherwise you can go to the main class, no problem, right? So the next subject, your will become as, you have to write it as you. So subject, and then second step, what is the subject also, it is over. The first simple your is there, no, that will change to you, right? So if you, and then what is the verb alone you have to write, not a verb plus ing. So verb plus ing means it is simple, so you have to write only the verb. So what is the verb alone here? Working means work alone. So if you, see, if you work, then after the verb whatever that is there, you have to write as it is. So in the simple, whatever the up to the verb alone we need to change. So after the verb whatever it comes, you have to write as it is, the same, right? So what is the stuff we have used to? If, right? Okay, over, and then subject, right? From here we have to take you, right? And then what is the verb here? Right, working, that you have to write work. So work hard, you will score very well. There is no change in the main class. Main class maximum in certain, I mean, in one or two models only, the main class will get little changes, right? Apart from that, main class will never get changed, right? So main class you have to write as it is, the same, okay? And what is the procedure to change into compound, right? See, make it very clear, or I'll just explain the formulas around. So compound sentence, you have to begin with the verb, right? Begin with the verb. So in compound sentence, you have to begin with the verb. So what is the verb here? Work, write it. So as I told you, up to verb alone we need to change. Apart from as it is, you have to write it is, right? So work, right, that is a verb, and then remaining as it is, you have to write the same thing, right? Okay, you have to take away the comma, and instead of this comma only we are using the compound word, that is and here, and you have used under. So as I told already, main class will never get changed. So simple also same thing, in complex also the same thing, and the compound also same thing, right, my dears? So the simple sentence, as I told you, what is the structure of a simple sentence? It will not begin with the subject verb pattern. See, in the event of your, this is not a subject verb pattern. Moreover, it is a phrase. It will begin with the phrase, right? The simple sentence, what is structure? It will begin with a phrase. Otherwise, no subject verb pattern, okay, or one finite verb. So these are three structures for a simple sentence. And in the complex sentence, right, one subordinate class and one, see, if you work hard, this is subordinate class, the sentence didn't get over, and you will score very good. This is get a complete meaning. So main class. And what is structure of a compound sentence? Two independent class, work hard, this is an independent class, and this is, you will reach the station on time, this is an independent class, right? Yes. So we should come to know that the given sentence, it is simple or complex or in compound, and structure is also same. Structure is also, you have to give importance, right? Okay, we'll move to the second one. Okay, what is the second one? If you work fast, right? So if you work fast means complex. Yes, very good. If you work fast means if, then work, if plus subject it is given. So if plus subject plus verb. See, if plus subject plus verb. If plus subject plus verb, over, right? So up to verb alone we need to change, remaining it will come as it is, okay? You will reach the station in time, okay? So what is the procedure to change into simple, right? In the simple sentence will begin either with the in the event of, otherwise in case of, plus your, got it? In the event of, otherwise in case of, plus your. So write the first one, in case of, right? Otherwise you can go for in the event of, right? So in case of, so the first step is over, then you have to go for your, that's why you have written here your. So in case of your, and then verb plus ing. What is the verb here? Walk, it is the verb. So walk plus ing, walking, walking. So verb is over, so remaining after the verb you have to write as it is. So in case of you are walking fast. See, in case or in the event of walk plus ing, walking. In the event of, or in case of your walking fast, comma, you will reach the station in time. Main class as it is will come, right? Okay. And then in the compound, very easy, right? You have to begin with the, as I told already, the compound sentence in this type will begin with the verb, right? And begin with the verb. So what is the verb here? You are walking, walking, a walk. So walking is the verb, and you have to write the verb alone. So walk, walk. And then So after the verb whatever it comes, you have to write as it is the same. So walk fast. After this comma, take away the comma, and instead of this comma you will use and, right? So walk fast and you will reach the station in time, right my dears? So hope you got this one, right? So this is positive type, right? This is positive type. We will move on to the negative type, my dears. Okay, listen. This is negative type. Condition negative, condition positive, and this is condition negative. So this is model 4. Model 4, it is condition negative, right? So what is the formula for the simple negative? It is, we will move on to, okay, we will move on to the next type, right? Model 4. So what is a simple formula? See, in the positive type, in the event of you are alone, but here in the event of dash, right? Same way here, what you are welcome, right? You are welcome, right? In the event of you are, otherwise the verb be from verb may come, right? In the event of dash plus not, in the event of subject plus, I mean you are plus not, otherwise in case of dash not, right? Okay, in the complex sentence, right, in the positive type we had if, but here unless, right? And the compound sentence here, see, is very easy. You have to begin the sentence with the verb, but in the positive type we began the sentence with the verb, but here with the subject, right? In the negative type the compound sentence will begin with the subject, but in the positive type the sentence will begin with the verb. Okay, right? So subject plus must or should you can use, right? You can go for must. If it is compulsory you can use must, or it is obligation you can go for should, right children? So subject plus should or must or should, plus instead of in positive type we have used and, but here or otherwise or else otherwise. So in the second type we saw, no, what are the things? And at once, otherwise and immediately. Same way in this negative type 3 words you can use, either you can use or, otherwise or else, otherwise, right my children? Okay, we'll move on to the example sentence, right? So in case of you're not helping him, he will suffer a lot. So in case of you're not helping him, that itself what? So in case of you're not, so if you come across this in case of not, then it is condition type negative. If you are not come across the not means it is positive, but here what, in case of you're not it is it, so it is negative type. So in case of you're not helping him, so in case of, right, in the event of, otherwise in case of plus subject you are not. Okay, he will suffer a lot, main class, right? Okay, what is the procedure to change? In the complex you have to begin the sentence with the unless, right? First step, unless we have written. Okay, unless plus subject. So as I told already, subject, right, that you are will change to you, right? So unless you, what is the verb, right? Helping, it is here, no, right? Change into help, right? So verb only you have to write. So unless you helping help. So unless plus subject plus verb. So unless you help, right? Unless you help, right? So after the verb whatever it comes you have to write the rest as it is the same. So only one word here also and that sentence also, right? So remaining what, him. So unless you help him, main class will never get changed, so he will suffer a lot, right? Okay, so in the complex or in the compound you have to begin the sentence with the subject, right? What is the subject here? You, right? Right, subject is over. Then must or should, what is the formula? Subject plus must or should, we have used must. Okay, second thing is also over. And then verb. So what is the verb? Help, write it, right? Okay, subject should or must plus verb, and after the verb you have to write the remaining as it is. So you must help him, instead of this comma take away the comma, we have to use either or else otherwise. So otherwise he will suffer a lot, it's right. Or you must help him or he will suffer a lot, you must help him or else he will suffer a lot, right? This thing you can write or else otherwise, in any, I mean from these 3 any one you can go for, right? Okay my dears, so next example 2, right? Example 2, listen here. You must run fast. So you should understand, right? The given sentence it is by some clue words. You should understand what the given sentence it is, simple or compound or complex. See, you must run fast. Otherwise, see, otherwise means it is there in the compound, right? Otherwise, you can come over here or else. That means it is there in the compound. And one more clue idea: subject must or should. See, subject must or should plus verb. So this is in the compound sentence, right? So in the exam pattern, a sentence like this will be given, and they will change. They will ask change into simple or change into complex. In such a way, they will give, and according to that model. In that model, you have to change it to simple or compound or complex, right? Okay, you must run fast, otherwise you will miss the bus. So this is in the compound sentence, right? First, we will write it into the complex. Okay, so complex means you have to begin the sentence with the unless, right? The first step is over, unless. And then subject. Subject means what? You, same you, subject you. And then unless plus subject plus verb. So unless plus subject plus verb, run, right? This run we have written over here, right? Verb. And after the verb, whatever comes as it is, you have write, right? So unless you run fast, you should remove this otherwise, right? Because it is a compound. When you're writing into complex, you are not supposed to carry this complex word, right? So remove the otherwise, and instead of otherwise you have to use this comma, right? Unless you run fast, comma, you will miss the bus, right? Okay, so what is the procedure to change into simple? Either you can go for, you can begin the sentence with the in the event of, otherwise in case of, right? So we have used here in the event of. First step is over, in the event of, right? First step is over. So after that, what you have to use? Your. So in the positive type as well as negative type, your can be used, and sometimes but be form verbs may come, right? So in such case you have to use being, right? Okay, fine. So in the event of your, right? In the event of your, and then what you have to use? Not. So in the event of your, not. And then what is the verb here? Verb is run. So run plus ing, running. In the event of not running fast. In the event of your not running fast, right? Comma, you will miss the bus. So the remaining thing as it is, you have to write. So main class, there will be no change. So in main class, changes will never come. The changes will come only in the subordinate class, right? Subordinate class only we need to change certain things, right? But when you're writing from a simple and complex to compound, you have to use what? Comma, right? In compound alone you will never use that comma, but in the simple as well as in the complex, it is must to use the comma, right? You have to use this comma. In some valuation, some paper I come across at the time. You know what they did? One boy, I don't know who is that boy or a girl, but that student, he missed that comma, so they reduced 1 mark, right? So this comma, it is very very important. So when you're writing in simple and in complex, you are supposed to use this comma. It is very 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 important, my dears, right? So these are the two things. So again, we will move on to the models alone, model 3 formulas alone. Okay, fine. So model 3 formula, what is a model 3? Model 4, it is condition type. So condition type we have one, right? One is positive condition, negative condition. So positive condition, what is a simple formula? You can begin the sentence with, the sentence will begin with the in the event of plus your, otherwise in case of plus your, and then verb plus ing, right? And in the complex formula, if plus subject plus verb, if plus subject plus verb. And in the compound, you have to use and as a conjunction, right? And in the negative type, what you have to use? See, negative type, simple sentence will begin with the in the event of your not, otherwise in case of your not. In the event of your not, otherwise in case of your not, right? And then in the complex, you have to begin the sentence with the unless plus subject plus verb. But there also we have used if, but in the negative you have to use unless, right? And in the compound, right, if subject plus must or should plus verb. But there you have to begin the sentence with only the positive, you have to begin the sentence only with the verb, right? But here only a little change, right? The sentence will begin with subject, should or must plus verb, and what is the conjunction in this type? Or else, otherwise. From these three, any one you can use, right children? So this is model 3 and model 4, right? Next class we will see the next things, right? So take care, revise this thing. If you have any doubt, kindly let me know with the WhatsApp text, or just make a call so that I can rectify your doubts, right? So take care, my dears. Go through this. See, after this class, once again you go through the examples and you just fix the example sums with the examples with the formulas, so that it will be easy for you to understand once again, right my dears? So take care, see you.